Hey, it's me. I'm back. I know you're so excited. Anyway, I'm here with my blog that I'm going to read because some of you don't have time to read and can just pop this on while you're driving around. So here I am with my blog. But I will say I have on my Yoga and Other Shit podcast T-shirt, bringing back the back in the day vibes from there, which you can find still all on Spotify and I think YouTube as well, depending on where you're watching this. It's my earlier episodes. So this is under the influence that I am just happening to be using as my blog name as well. So here we go. So it has to do with this weekend, and this past weekend was the 4th of July weekend. We were lucky enough to have it on a Saturday, which is always nice because sometimes when it's connected to the weekend, it's nice, but other times, no. Like, if it's on a Monday night, everybody usually celebrates over the weekend before. But some people are sticklers about having the fireworks on that day. So if you're up watching fireworks on a Monday night, then you have to go to work the next day sometimes. If you're like me and you go to sleep at 8:30 or 9 p.m., it's a lot. Anyway, but we did our fireworks because we have a bunch of early risers, early go to bedders. So we did our fireworks at like 8:30 or something. So it was still light out, but there was some clouds, and I think it was just dark enough you could see everything. So it was perfect. Like the picture, if you go to my Ghost blog, I'm on the Ghost platform. There's a picture, and you can tell it's right before we were setting the fireworks off, and you could see it's still light out. But anyway, I'll read it and we'll get into it. I'll elaborate a little bit more. So anytime I read my blog on here, I add to it. I go off on these tangents. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. I probably will. I always do a little. Sorry. Oh, there's my dog. There she is. She's so cute. Okay. Sorry. All right. So this weekend we had an impromptu expanded get together. So originally, my son he lives in Alabama, and his fiance were coming in. My other son always enjoys a good 4th of July get together as well. So he was coming, and they're like, "Hey, why don't you see if the usuals are around?" So we called up our family friends and their kids, and everybody came and brought something, and we all ate. We made pork butt. We did a butt, and somebody did baby back ribs. So it was a big pork weekend for us. So don't judge. But we loved it. So originally it was just going to be us and the kids. I already just told you that. Then one of us suggested inviting the Christmas get-together group, which is who I just told you. So the stars aligned. Everyone was available, which is really hard during the summer, I must say, because everybody's taking different trips with different, the in-laws, the mom's in-laws one time and the dad's in-laws another time, and the kids are just going wherever they can in between their jobs because they're just all starting off with their real life jobs. Anyway, so while we're really always extremely vocal about our gratitude for each other, this weekend felt a little bit different. Not because it was perfect, but it was close, because with those people, it always just feels perfect. And nothing extraordinary happened. It just felt different because everywhere I looked, everywhere I went, people outside of the group seemed genuinely grateful. Genuinely, like you could see it on the face. It was like an aura that they had. We started at the golf course. So Friday, before we had our get together, we went to the golf course. I don't golf, but I ride. Really, really hot day for it, but beautiful day. Beautiful day. Um, Everyone was happy to have a tea time. People smiled as they passed one another. Conversations came easily. There was laughter echoing across the fairways. All right, maybe not quite that. It just sounded good. But really, there were laughter. You could hear people laughing here and there. No one was rushed. No one was impatient. Everyone simply seemed thankful to be outside, enjoying the sunshine and sharing the day. We even met an influencer. I wrote this here. Shout out to Natalie Fannin. Her Instagram is Boss Lady Zero Filter, all spelled out, not the number zero, but ZERO. So Boss Lady Zero Filter. I'll write that in the show notes here. Go follow her. Give her a follow. She's got great content if you like golf, but she's got other stuff in there too. That actually, she has a golf, her golf Instagram is fell_foursome, FORESOME, foursome, because the other one was taken. So fell, FELL _foursome, FORE, not FOUR. Hope you got that. I'll put it down below. Anyway, so had fun with her, took a selfie. And then she was off with her husband to golf. Before she got in trouble, she kept saying, "Oh, he's gonna be mad. I was supposed to get a golf cart," but he was not mad. So Saturday, our house filled with people we love. Richie and Katie were there. Justin was there. Our friends and their kids, whichever ones could come. One even brought their dog. We love the dog. He's this cute little tiny long-haired miniature dachshund. So cute. And he got to chase Mojo around. Mojo was here. And we let's see, nearby friends from out of town gathered around the table. We ate far too much. We played games. We laughed until our stomach hurt. And then we watched the dogs chase each other around the patio. That was the little miniature dachshund and the border collie. That was pretty hilarious. But one of my favorite moments was earlier in that day before the people came over with the food, but we still had Richie and Katie and their two friends with them and Justin. And we were out. The boys went in the pool because it was hot. And so they jumped in, and Yeti looked like she wanted to jump in, and she does dock jumping competitions, but for some reason they never went. They won't go into our pool. It's small. It's a plunge pool, so it's like 7 by 12, I think. Anyway, so I finally got her to jump in. It was so fun. We must have been out there for like 45 minutes getting her to jump in. And she can't jump far, so she doesn't have to run far, so she didn't get tired or anything. But it was very cute to watch her. She had her little life jacket on. That gives her all the confidence. So that was fun. And then everyone came over, and Yeti took a nap, and we all hung out and ate all kinds of different food. I made ice cream sandwiches. So I made chocolate chip cookies. I did not make my vanilla ice cream. Usually I do. I like to try to lessen the sugar, and then I add protein in it. You know how everybody's doing now. But I do that and then put them in the chocolate chip cookies, which I also snuck some protein in, just to make it less bad, still naughty, but not quite as naughty. And then my friend Michelle brought over a trifle, and it had pound cake. And I don't know if it had yogurt or pudding, but then it had the Cool Whip, and it had the fruit, and it was so good. So good. So I had the trifle, which I'm glad I did, because I still have ice cream sandwiches downstairs that I can have whenever I want. So I made the right choice there. But anyway, so we all had dessert. Some people had both, and some people didn't, but everybody had something. and we just loved it. And then as soon as it started to get dark, that's when, like I said, we decided to do the fireworks. But and they were great. But on 3 different occasions, we have a 4-wheeler. My husband took his buddy down the road to show him our favorite. When we walk, there's this beautiful sunrise, and then from our front porch, we have this beautiful sunset. So it was later, so it was the sun that was going to be setting, but the ride with the lighting at that time of day is beautiful. So he took him, and then I was like, "Ooh, we should go." So I took my 2 girlfriends and we went, and then we came back, and then Richie's fiance took her buddies and they all went, and so it was so much fun. And that feeling that let's go look at what's going to happen with the sky with the sun setting and the landscape on this side road that we live near, that's beautiful. And everyone just was in the moment, and it was so fun to watch that. So the feeling of genuine affection, no one seemed distracted, no one appeared to be keeping score. People were simply happy to be together. Even earlier when we were driving around town, people waved, neighbors were chatting, like even on our little buzz ride, people were waving. There was unusual kindness in the air, as if everyone had silently agreed that for one day they would choose appreciation over irritation, which made me wonder. And so all that to say, this is where I'm getting. So why on this day? Why does it take a holiday celebration or a milestone for gratitude to rise to the surface? What changes? Because the truth is, the things that we celebrated this weekend are available far more often than once a year, or not once a year, but this one time in this particular time of year, because we all do this around Christmas. Like the week before Christmas, we are not grateful, but on Christmas, we are grateful. A morning walk, I find myself, like I just said, looking up at the sunrise, feeling grateful. I'm grateful for my friend Camille, who walks with me during the week, and we hash out all our problems. We get them all fixed. We get the world's problems fixed. And today on this walk, see, this is where you get the extra all the time. We got to see a mama deer and twin babies, and we got to see an armadillo, and the armadillo was not run over on the road. He was trotting along the road, but it was scary because he did cross, and we were like, oh my God, but everybody stopped, and he made it. He lived another day. Okay, back to me reading here. Even when the evening sky begins to change colors, I stop and notice. And I try to do this as many times a week as possible because it is important and it does change my mood. I'm grateful for the path beneath my feet. I'm grateful for my yard. I used to do these walks in the morning, and I would video and just talk about gratitude or just different things to notice the beauty in. I'm grateful for my home, for my family, for my new car, even though it's hated amongst a lot of people on that Threads platform. I'm grateful for 2 healthy dogs, 3 really healthy dogs, for ordinary conversations with people I love. But there are plenty of days where that gratitude fades into the background. Obviously, it happens. So I'm constantly trying to remind myself. But this is what happens to me. So the house becomes another thing to clean. The yard becomes another chore. The car becomes transportation instead of a blessing. The ordinary, oh my gosh, the ordinary quietly disguises itself as mundane. Maybe that's what holidays really do. They don't give us new blessings. They simply remind us to notice the ones we've had all along. Maybe this is what my husband has a problem with Christmas about. Like, why are we buying all these things when we should be grateful to spend time with the people that we love? Anyway, it's all coming into my brain now, an epiphany. What if we borrowed a little bit of that 4th of July and that gratitude and carried it into just an ordinary Tuesday? What if we smiled at strangers because we could on another Tuesday or Wednesday even? What if we gathered around a simple meal without waiting for an occasion? What if we celebrated a sunset with the same enthusiasm we reserve for fireworks? Gratitude has a funny way of spreading. A smile invites another. One kind word softens someone else's day. So when you have gratitude, you spread kindness. If you allow to share this gratitude, it comes out as kindness. And again, with the yoga themes, kindness is love with its work boots on. I went and took a class where that was the theme, and it talked about how kindness is basically contagious. Well, so is gratitude, because they're very, very much one and the same, if you ask me. One thankful heart makes a room feel lighter. This weekend reminded me that gratitude isn't just something we feel, it is something we can create together. Maybe that's worth celebrating every single day. The weekend also made me notice something else. On an ordinary Saturday, the mood often feels different. People seem bored, frustrated, impatient, discontent. And before I point fingers, I can get caught up in that too. I'm not immune. There are plenty of days. I'm sure a lot of you people could even say, well, you don't have gratitude all the time. You're right. I don't, but I try to get there. That's something that I've been working on for a long time. And yes, it's something I'll always have to work on. Sometimes I wonder, are we simply I was thinking about this the other day. Like, when you're out and about, are we just, do we happen to be unhappy or crabby at the same time, simultaneously, right in that moment? Is that all it is? If I'm having an average day and I'm out in public, I do still try to smile. I try to make eye contact. I will hold doors open. That always makes me feel better too, for some reason. I'm not trying to be selfish. It just brings a lighter vibe into it. I'll wave when we walk in the neighborhood with my friend Camille. We'll wave at the other cars. Just that simple waving changes the mood. It lightens it like that. Those tiny moments don't cost much. But so many people don't even seem to bother anymore. And when did that change? We've spent so much time behind our keyboards searching for everything that's wrong that we've forgotten how to acknowledge the people standing right in front of us. This weekend didn't feel that way, this past weekend. For one weekend, it felt like we were all on the same team. Neighbors waved, strangers smiled, people laughed together. Sorry for the repetition, but I'm just trying to compare a random Saturday with this past Saturday. No one seemed interested in picking a fight. It wasn't that everyone suddenly agreed on everything. I'm sure they didn't. It was simply that for a little while, everyone remembered they were sharing the same space with other human beings. And that makes me wonder, why does it take celebrating America's 250th birthday to remind us of that? Why do we wait for holidays? Why do we wait for tragedy even to unite? That's another thing. We've all had that happen. A hurricane, a flood, a wildfire, a school tragedy, community loss. Suddenly, political opinions disappear. Arguments become unimportant. Neighbors help neighbors. Complete strangers show up with food, water, tools, or simply a hug. The humanity was always there. It just took something enormous to uncover it. So maybe the better question isn't whether we are doomed, but maybe it's this. If we are capable of becoming our best selves during celebrations and tragedies, what is stopping us on that ordinary Tuesday? Does a smile really take that much energy? Does kindness require a national holiday? Or have we simply forgotten how powerful those tiny moments really are? Gratitude isn't a feeling that arrives on holidays. Maybe holidays just simply give us permission to slow down long enough to notice what was already there. And that's it. That's it. So think about that. I don't have all the answers, but I will say practicing gratitude helps to make you feel good inside to be able to practice kindness. I hope this reaches someone and resonates, and I hope it's a reminder to those that are trying to spread kindness, and maybe a new idea for some of those who are in not so great of a place, that a little bit of gratitude can maybe make things a bit lighter. And you might have to reach for it. If you're in a dark place right now, you might have to reach for it. You might have to dig deep to find something to feel grateful for. And I hope you find it. And I hope this finds you. And know that there are other people out there that can help you get there with just a smile. If they acknowledge you, you are there. You are needed in this world. To smile back. All right, that's enough of that. I hope this helped someone. Please share. Please follow and subscribe. And I will put our friend Natalie's information down below. Follow her. Follow me on Instagram, Rachael Lee Moore, and then I have books and blog with Ray. There's a bunch of underscores in there. So I'll put that down below too. I've got a website, I've got books, I got all kinds of stuff. I'm constantly trying to throw out my thoughts and observances to see if I'm not alone out here wondering all this stuff. Okay. Have a great day. I'm grateful for you. See you next week. See you soon.